Have you been asking yourself this important question? Am I included in the $5,000 stimulus check if I'm low income or living on a fixed income like Social Security, SSDI, SSI, VA, or RRB benefits? You're not alone. This is one of the most frequently asked questions I've been receiving from viewers across the board. Whether it's in the comments, live chats, or private messages, many people just like you are seeking clarity on what's really going on with this supposed $5,000 stimulus check. And today, I want to give you a full, clear, honest breakdown of what you can expect. So, let's go through this step by step. We're going to explore whether you're included, what the current status is, and why this whole thing may not be what it originally seemed. This is going to be one of the most important updates I've given in a while because things have changed massively, and I want you to be fully informed. Before we jump in, I want you to know this: I'm here to bring you honest, accurate, reliable, and transparent information. I don't sugarcoat things. I'm not here to sell you a dream or chase clicks. My goal is to tell you exactly what's going on, even if it's not popular or easy to hear. Because in uncertain times like these, that's what we all need most: real talk. Now let's dive into the details. Let's begin by answering the core question that so many of you have: am I included in the $5,000 stimulus check? And the answer? It depends. Yeah, I know, that's probably the last thing you wanted to hear. But it's the truth, and here's why. The original proposal for the $5,000 stimulus check, also referred to as the Doge dividend, wasn't exactly a traditional stimulus check. It was structured around a 20% profit share that would be redistributed back to taxpaying households based on government savings through the Doge initiative. What does that mean in plain English? Well, this was never intended to be a flat $5,000 payment to every individual or household. It wasn't even guaranteed. The idea was, if Doge could help the federal government save money, potentially up to $2 trillion, then 20% of those savings would be returned to taxpayers. And here's where it gets tricky. That $5,000 figure was based on a massive assumption, that the government would actually save $2 trillion. That's a monumental number, and honestly, it's very unlikely. Let's do the math together. If Doge somehow led to $2 trillion in federal savings, and again, that's a huge if, then 20% of that, or $400 billion, would be shared among eligible households. There are approximately 79 million tax-paying households in the U.S. If you divide that $400 billion by 79 million, you get roughly $5,000 per household. That's where the number came from. But again, this all hinges on savings that probably won't happen. Now, let's say the savings are far lower. Let's use a more realistic example. Suppose Doge helps save $200 billion. That's just 10% of the original target. If they applied the same 20% profit share, that would only be $40 billion to distribute. Split across those same 79 million households? That's about $500 per household. So, to be clear, we're not talking about $5,000 anymore. Not even close. So now you're wondering, what if I'm on Social Security, SSDI, SSI, VA, or I'm a low-income senior? Am I included? Let's revisit how the eligibility was written in the original plan. According to the early documentation, the only people eligible were those who had a net federal tax contribution in the year 2025, with the distribution scheduled for some time in 2026. What's a net federal tax contribution? Simply put, you must have paid more in federal taxes than you received in refunds or credits. If you didn't contribute any federal taxes, then under the current plan, you wouldn't be eligible. That means if you're living solely on Social Security, SSDI, or SSI and don't owe federal income taxes, you would not be included in the current version of the Doge dividend. That's a tough pill to swallow, I know. Especially for seniors and disabled individuals who rely on those fixed income programs. But again, I'm here to give it to you straight. Now let me be clear, I'm not saying this won't change. I do believe the eligibility requirements could shift if this proposal gains momentum. But as it stands, based on the original wording, this is the reality. Now let's address another major question I keep getting: when will we see the $5,000? And the answer is, we likely won't, at least not in the way many people are thinking. Unfortunately, a lot of people are being led to believe this is a done deal. You may have heard others out there saying things like, "Get ready, you're getting $5,000. But that's not what's actually happening. This isn't a traditional stimulus check. It's not a congressional bill that passed. It's not something that's been signed into law. It's a proposal built around government cost savings, which, as we've already discussed, are speculative at best. So, again, please do not get your hopes up for a $5,000 check. I don't say this to discourage you, I say it to protect you. Because if we go into this thinking we're going to get a big payout, we're going to be sorely disappointed when it doesn't happen. Now, let's talk about timing. The DOGE program was launched in late January 2025. It is not a permanent fixture. According to its original mandate, DOGE is set to expire on July 4, 2026. At that time, the government will evaluate whatever savings have been realized, if any, and then consider any form of distribution. So if you're hearing someone say, "A check is coming this summer," or "money will hit accounts next month," that's not rooted in the current plan. It's speculation. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you of something very important. If you're struggling right now, especially with healthcare costs or understanding Medicare, help is available. Right now, there is a dedicated team of trusted Medicare advisors standing by to answer your questions and help you save money. They specialize in initial Medicare enrollment, Medicare supplement plans, Medicare Advantage, Part D plans, Medigap, and much more. Their consultations are completely free, and they've already helped nearly 2,000 members of this community. The average savings? Around $1,100 per senior. While not guaranteed, that number shows how impactful this help can be. So don't hesitate, write that number down. Whether you call today or during the open enrollment period later this year, it could be the best call you make. Let's bring it all together. The idea of a $5,000 stimulus check sounds amazing, especially for those on fixed incomes or struggling with the rising cost of living. But I want you to be prepared, not misled. There is no guarantee of a $5,000 payment. Eligibility depends entirely on your federal tax contribution in 2025. The program expires in July 2026. Any payment would come after that date, and only if substantial savings are realized. And most importantly, this is not a traditional stimulus.